Bitcoin is pulling the exact same move we have seen in 2020. And after that last resistance break, Bitcoin exploded towards the upside. And that is exactly what we are seeing in the current markets over on Bitcoin. We have seen such a big drops like we have seen right now, but every single time we dumped exactly towards this very important trend line, and after that the next move started for Bitcoin. Right now we are still getting supported by that line, and this could start the next leg towards the upside for Bitcoin. We are still seeing some slow price action here in the weekends, but I'm seeing something and a setup in the market which is pretty interesting. We will dive into that and way more in today's video, but first of all I would really appreciate you guys to follow me over on X and of course to subscribe over on my YouTube channel. I would really appreciate so, and let's dive right away into the chart for now, because what we can see is that we are forming a similar setup as we have seen in 2020. And I'm gonna explain you why, because the movements are the same, but the setup was a little bit different back then. Why? We set in a high, that is exactly what we have been seeing right over here. Then the price dumped towards the downside. We have seen that happening in 2018, similar here. Then price spiked back towards the upside, but didn't manage to break this high towards the upside and reject that and start the next leg towards the downside. That is exactly what we saw in 2020. Then price was strong enough, got a reset towards the upside. That is exactly what we have been seeing over the past few years. And then Bitcoin came exactly towards this resistance line that has been created with all the tops we have been rejecting on Bitcoin. And that is exactly what we have been doing right over here, because we managed to reject this trend line for over 3 times. Then Bitcoin broke out, retested that resistance line, and after that Bitcoin went vertical towards the upside. And of course it does look a little bit different, but the attention behind every single move is the same. So rejection of that high, that is exactly what we are seeing right over here, dump, reset towards old resistance line, that is exactly what we saw right over here, broke it towards the upside and perfectly retesting it, that is exactly what we are seeing right now. And after that the Bitcoin price surge towards the upside like crazy, and that is the exact thing we are seeing right now over on Bitcoin. And of course this is the second time retesting it, but right now we are seeing a very important head and shoulders pattern in this pattern as well, and we managed to break that neckline towards the upside and perfectly retesting it. So right here we saw compression. That is not something we are seeing right now, but the setup is exactly the same, and right now we are seeing a massive head and shoulders pattern, and that means a trend structure pattern that is breaking towards the upside. That means that the trend is flipping here on Bitcoin, and we are perfectly retesting it for the second time right now. And this is your last time and last chance to get in Bitcoin at such a low price. Please believe me. Also here, if we look at all the major rejections we got in this bull market, which is pretty normal, everyone knows it. If you step in Bitcoin, a dump of approximately 30% in a bull market is pretty normal. We have seen that right over here, but we dumped 34% towards the downside, exactly towards the trend line, and after that Bitcoin exploded towards the upside. We have seen it right over here once again, and right now we are seeing it another time. We dumped approximately 30% towards the downside, and we got supported by that important trend line, and right now we are seeing some buy momentum getting in the market once again. And every single time we saw that happening before, the Bitcoin price moved towards the upside. The other side is if we break the support line towards the downside, we could probably see some more downside coming for Bitcoin. But for now, that's not the scenario I am looking at, because we are getting supported, buy orders are getting filled here, and that will probably mean a next leg towards the upside for Bitcoin. Then if you look at the lower time frame, what we can see is that I said in yesterday's video, we are looking pretty strong against this resistance line. But I also said the price needs to gain and close above this resistance line, and that is not what we are seeing right now. But what I see is that price is pretty strong also here in the weekends with low volume. We are managing to get a hold in this rejection zone, and that means that buyers are more in control than sellers, and that is a really important thing, because that means that the Bitcoin price is pretty strong on the lower time frame. For now, no setups for me, but we need to push towards the upside a little bit and retest it, and that is the exact same setup I am taking here. A clear breakout for now is managing a setup we can trade like this. So a clear breakout towards the upside, a retest, that is the trade I am taking here for a 2.5 risk to reward. If this happening in the market, I will keep you posted over on my X page and over in my free Telegram group. So please make sure to follow me over on X and join my free Telegram group. It's the first link in the description. And the only thing you need to do is trade the trade setups over on WeX to get a lot of win rate here. If you want to trade over on WeX, please make sure to sign up on WeX through the second link in the descriptions, and you will have the best trading circumstances possible. And we give the setups. The only thing you need to do is trade on the best exchange out there, and that is WeX at this moment. Then, if you look at some on-chain data, we can also see that the long-term holders aren't actively accumulating Bitcoin. But a really important thing here is that coins bought during the summer that haven't been sold are simply maturing into lower time frame supply. And this is not really bad for the market, because this means that conviction is still rising. And that is something that is pretty important. But more important is that the sell pressure is easing, because the Bitcoin price isn't really moving. As we can see, we are ranging. But that means that sell pressure, the longer we are here, sell pressure is rising, because we can see that long orders are getting filled. What does that mean? That if long orders get filled in the market but price doesn't move, that means that the sell pressure is easing, and that will cause for a certain snap moment in the market that sell pressure is gone and buy pressure is stronger, and that will start a major expansion towards the upside for Bitcoin. That was it for today's video. Please make sure to follow me over on X, subscribe over on my YouTube channel, and like this daily update video, and I will see you tomorrow by a brand new Crypto Daily Update video.